So here we go, ready to get started. Have our yoga mat and our balance ball and ourselves. So let's center ourselves with our breath. Breathing in. Today's focus will be a fusion of Pilates and yoga. And we'll start by sharing a famous quote from Joseph Pilates, which is very commonly said in yoga. So I imagine that you learned this bit of advice from the yoga schools, that a man is as young as his spine is strong and flexible. Our movements today will focus on the strong and flexible spine. Two things we want when we're looking at our spine: we want it to be able to move easily, and then when it's time for it not to move, we want to have stability. So say we're picking up a heavy object, we want to be able to bend down and stabilize the spine, keep the spine from moving so we don't hurt our backs. And those are two things we'll focus on: being able to move and also being able to keep the spine from moving. We accomplish that by focusing on the breathing. We'll review 5 Pilates principles. The first, and to me the most important, how to breathe properly. And the breath is considered a rib cage breath or a back breath. If you'll take your hands to your ribs, we'll have a stronger connection to our ribs. And as we breathe in, let's try to open the ribs sideways. As we exhale with our pinky fingers, we can feel the muscles in our abs pulling our belly button in and then up. We call it scooping the abs out through the mouth. A little whooshing sound. Inhale through the nose, open your ribs. Exhale out through the mouth, scoop the abs. One more time. We'll continue to try to breathe that way, but also adding on other alignment principles. Next one will be the pelvis placement. So sometimes when we sit down, there'll be this feeling like we're rounded and slouching, and we can fix that by maybe sitting up and lifting the bottom so we're more level on the sits bones. To find the sits bones, you can roll the hips forward and roll the hips back. You feel those bones that are pressing into your ball. And notice that when your spine is rounded, what happens? And when your spine is arching, what's happening? We want to find a nice neutral. So the hips not tipped forward, the hips not tipped back, but level. We have a little bit of curve in the back, and this should feel pretty comfortable in your lower back. So, and then next is the ribs. Sometimes we'll make an attempt to sit up really straight. We'll pop the ribs up. I've got this little piece of cloth. It's kind of bothering me there, but I'll get over it. In any case, the ribs sometimes pop up and want to feel like they're sliding down into front pockets. And when we breathe in, say, into our back, into our ribs, we're not letting the ribs pop up or the belly pooch out. We'll take a moment to breathe again into the ribs, feeling sideways and into the back where your lungs are at. And exhaling and scoop the abs. One more time. Breathing into our lungs, into our backs. Keeping this core connection, not letting the abs stretch out. Next. Moving on to our shoulders. Sometimes because of life taking us forward, the shoulders tend to round forward. And so we'll align the shoulders by first taking the shoulder blades up, together, and down the back. And then sometimes the ribs tend to pop up, so we want to go back and check that that hasn't happened. And last but certainly not least, where is our head? So the head sometimes is forward of the body. That's the direction we're usually heading. So what we'll do is bring the chin down and take the head back over the shoulders. So we feel aligned, tailbone to front of the head. And let's go back to breathing. Notice your ribs. Notice your abs. Good job. We'll relax our arms by our sides. This should feel really nice in the back. We're just going to make big circles with our hips. We'll roll the hips around. We'll do about 10. And the goal is to move and to remember to breathe. Our Pilates breathing, back breathing, rib cage breathing, lots of names for it. Preparing to switch directions. Here we go. 10, 9, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So coming back to level, may need to reset by lifting the hips, finding those sits bones, and remembering pelvis, ribs, shoulders, head, and breathe. For the next exercise, which is going to work our abs and our balance, and I would say a little bit of coordination, we will roll out. So you want room in front of your ball. Crisscross the arms and think of the C curve we make in Pilates with our backs. So the tailbone tucks under and the chin tucks to your chest, and this is your C curve. Then we'll walk out with our feet and use our core muscles, lifting up our hips, and the ball will be supporting your shoulders and your head. And kind of think, yes, chin to chest, walk your feet back towards the ball, and we'll sit up and repeat. We've got 9 more. Breathing in, breathing out. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. And sometimes the ball rolls back, so you may need to do a reset. Placing it back underneath your hips. Just 2 more. Stay with your breath. It is a discipline. And our last one. Yay, we did it. After sitting up, reset to the center of your mat. Check the feet for going ankles, knees, aligned. All 10 toes point straight ahead. Lifting up the sits bones, finding our level hips, shoulders, ears, and not letting the ribs pop up. From here, we'll hold our body steady and do knee lifts, working our core, stabilizing the spine. Continue to focus on scooping the abs, navel to spine. Halfway. 5, 2, 1. Excellent. Next, let's take the ball and you can either hold it overhead, my head's been cut off, or you can bring it to a wall behind your back. And I'm going to go ahead and fix the camera. So my head's no longer cut off. Let's hope that does the trick. Mostly. So we're going to turn the body into a chair. The feet are forward, they're parallel hip distance apart. The curve of the low back is supported and your head is over your shoulders. Coming down and looking for creating a lap. So maybe someone light could sit there. And we'll push down through the mount of the big toe, little toe, and the center of the heel of the stand. Breathe in, breathe out. Think about your belly pushing into your back and your back pushing into the ball. And your head is up high. Good job. Halfway. As you straighten your legs, think of lifting your kneecaps. Last one. From here, let's walk the feet in and stand up taller. We're parallel as well with our feet. Heels up and down. 10. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now, we'll take the feet out further. Think about being in a ballet class, going into a plie. As you come down, what I'd like you to check is that the turnout of your toes is not too much, that your knees can bend in line with the second toe on each side. The back, we want it to be supported, the pelvis level, the ribs are not popping up, shoulders over the ribs and hips, head over our shoulders. And we'll get down nice and low, feel the stretch in the inner thighs as we squeeze our bottoms and open the knees away from each other. Again, pushing down through the mount of the big toe, little toe, center of the heel. We'll come up and return to coming down and just feel our best range of motion, stretching and strengthening. Great job, 7. Remember, extend through the crown of your head, keeping that aligned spine, gazes rather straight ahead towards your camera. Last one. Let's play with this a little bit. So we'll add an additional challenge. Our heels will be up in the air and we'll come down and up, heels down, heels up, and the hips down, the hips up. And 3 more. 2. 1. Now the heels are down and the hips come down. Heels up, heels down, stand up. So just switching it up a little bit. A little bit of mind-body coordination. 2 more. And I noticed I wasn't breathing quite so well, so I was thinking harder. Excellent. After standing, walk the toes in, the heels in. Or stand up nice and tall. So some good work for the legs from the calf muscles up. And now we'll give the legs a little bit of a break and focus on our upper body. So from yoga, we learn mountain pose. And let me try to make another camera adjustment. Maybe, just maybe, I can get my head in this screen. Okay. No, this is gonna be good enough, I hope. Okay, so back to the mountain pose. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, ear, all lined up. Tailbone is tucking, and we have strong legs lifting up our knees, and our tailbone's tucked, navel to spine. It's called hug the tree. In this case, we'll hug our balls and squeeze like you're trying to pop the ball. You're gonna be pressing your elbows into the ball and then bringing the ball into your chest. If you need to, you might have to wrap a little bit more around the ball. So we'll squeeze with all we got, then release, breathe in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Yeah, and inhale, let up so you can squeeze again. About 7 more. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. This is as challenging as you make it. 1 more. Excellent. And we'll continue upper body with push-ups. And we're going to practice 2 types of push-ups. And setting up for your push-up. Begin with kneeling and having a lot of room in front of your mat. So the first exercise will focus on your triceps. And the movement is like what I'm doing right now, but it'll be both arms. The elbow will drop towards the floor, and it'll be about 90 degrees, and then you'll lift your elbow up. So that'll be what the arms are doing. Now, the rest of the body will be resistance. So plank, coming out till the hands are under the shoulders, and squeeze your legs together, point the toes, tuck your tailbone, lift your belly button up. And we'll try where we're at. It may be too easy, maybe too challenging, but we're bringing those elbows down in their parallel lines, and we lift up. So I'm not feeling a lot. I'm going to try another inch further forward and make sure to engage the abs. Keep that spine aligned, tailbone to crown, elbows down, elbows up. If it did get too easy, you'd want your hands closer to your ball. Breathe in, breathe out. About 6 more. We're trying to get our muscles fatigued. Keep tucking the tailbone and pulling the belly button to the spine. And I'm feeling my arms get nicely fatigued. So that was our first push-up for the triceps. Walk further forward, go wider, and the elbows for this one flare out. Re-engage navel to spine, look to the floor, keep straight from toes to crown of the head, bend your elbows, maybe get your nose to touch the floor. Just try to keep that aligned spine. Breathe in, breathe out. About 8 more. 7. Blow yourself up from the ground. 6. 5. Squeeze your inner thighs and glutes together. 4. 3. 2. 1. We did it. And that earns us a nice break. Walk back and adjust your placement. So, I'm kneeling, preparing for ragdoll over the ball, where we'll let the body wrap itself over the top of the ball. The knees will be an inch or 2 off the floor, and the head as well, depending on how tall you are. Feel your body stretch out as it molds itself around the ball. Make sure you're breathing. When you're ready, press back. And what we'll do is you can grab some weights. You honestly, if you really, really squeeze your muscles, you shouldn't need weights, as strange as that sounds. But it's called a preacher curl. And to do this, it's almost like you're doing child's pose. You're moving your hips back towards your heels. The ball is squeezed into your thighs, and you dig your elbows into the ball, like your arms are resting on a pulpit for a preacher. The arms come down, and I like to squeeze and come up. Squeeze your biceps and come down. You can angle this where your arms are a little bit, oh gosh, I would say maybe I'm leading with my palm, the center of my palm up, more neutral line. And then there's also where you can have the thumbs leading the way up and just squeeze your biceps. Pretend you're pushing your hands and pulling your hands through cement, wet cement. So you can, but it's really, really hard. And then you can also rotate where you're leading with your pinkies as you come up, making a nice strong muscle. And like I mentioned, we can also hold some small weights. If you didn't have weights but wanted to hold something, a can of beans or something like that from the kitchen can be useful. Good job, our last one. So that strengthened the biceps. A little bit earlier, we did that tricep push-up. So we should feel like the arm has gotten a nice workout. Shoulders, chest, a little bit of the back with the push-ups. And we'll take our focus more into the stomach and the hips. Laying down and bridging. So the bridges that we'll do can be done with both heels on the ball. I have a feeling that's going to be a little bit too easy. So the goal will be to do 2 sets of 10, and we'll have our arms by our sides diagonally for balance. We're going to dig the heels in, tuck the tailbone, and feel like you're getting longer from tailbone to crown of the head. Right leg in the air. Breathe in. Exhale, lift your hips. Keep the hips level. And we'll come down a little bit as we inhale and back up as we exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side, maybe switching in the air for a more challenging balancing experience. 10. One more. Both feet back to the ball. The hips are in the air. We're tucking our tailbones and then rolling the ball in and rolling the ball out. 10. And flexing my ankles. 9. Digging those heels into the ball. Really work to inhale into your back. Exhale, scoop the abs. Almost done. I feel a little muscle burn right now. It's a good thing. Feel your low back stretch out. One more. Legs are straight and we gently lay the spine down, upper, middle, lower. Yay, okay. So let's do something a little more gentle, involves a bit of a stretch as well as core control. We'll take the ball over to under the left leg and your ball could be closer or farther away. Farther away will probably allow a bigger circle with your right leg. We'll point the toes up and then bring them towards the floor behind our head. Inhale, circle the leg down on your inside. Exhale, up on the outside. Reverse direction, breathe in. Exhale. Okay, that is 1. Let's do 4 more. Three. 2. 1. And when you're ready, switch sides. Stabilize that leg, level hips. Bring your left toes towards the floor behind your head. Inhale, center down. Exhale, side up. Reverse. 4 more. Two. 1. All done. Relax for a moment. Roll that ball in and let your legs rest there. Close your eyes. Become more aware of your spine. Remembering that alignment of the hips, the ribs, shoulders, and the head. And breathing into your back, exhaling navel to spine. We're going to do a pretty challenging exercise. And if you need to back off for any reason, say it just feels like it's not happening today, or worst case scenario, hurt your back, I want to offer something much easier. So the ball rolls away and your heels dig into it and you reverse crunch by bringing your knees to your chest and really pressing the belly flat and feeling the stretch in your lower back. So the reverse crunch can be done with the feet on the ball, and just in and out with the knees. And you really need a focus, but you can get a good core experience if you flatten your stomach and empty your lungs every time. Then the other option is that we're going to grab the ball with the legs and pick it up. And notice if you feel like you're going to lose the ball or not. It may place a little wider and just make sure you got a good hold. The arms are by your sides, a little bit diagonal, but not too wide. They're going to help stabilize us. We're going to inhale, prepare. Exhale and bring the knees to the chest and try to get the hips off the floor. Inhale lower, exhale up. Let's try to do about 8 more. And you can always get back to the previous exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hallelujah. So, combination exercise, offering again the previous exercise, but adding to that. I like to make an X with my arms and place that X behind my head and let the head rest on the X. And then we'll lift the chest and roll the ball in, knees to chest, chest towards the knees. And this is an awesome exercise. If by chance you're thinking, by golly, I need a little bit more, then I offer instead grabbing the ball again like before, making sure you got a good hold, and then it's a little bit of a lift in the knees, hips, knees to chest, chest to knees. We'll count them out. 10, 9, feel the shoulder blades up off the floor. 8, 7, be kind to your neck. Keep your head relaxed on your arms. Just 5 more. 5, 4, scoop out those abs. 3, 2, 1. Way to go. Let's relax. So, next exercise is going to focus on the inner thighs. There's different ways this can be done, and I'll offer what you might prefer, and then I'll show you what seems to work well for me. The knees are bent, the ball is between the knees and just trying to squeeze. No, it's really funny. Some days I'm thinking, and it must be the pants that I'm wearing, that this doesn't work very well. But today I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really working. I'll just give you options and I'll see which is working best for me today. Between the calf muscles and squeezing. It is also working really well. I definitely feel my inner thighs. But I kind of feel like with my feet down, I might have been engaging the most. In any case, when you're breathing, scoop the abs, try to pop that ball. 10. 8. When we finish our exhales, we want to be contracting the pelvic floor and lifting it up. 4 more. Try a little harder. 2, 1. Give it all you got. Excellent. Now, what we'll do is continue to focus on our abs. We're going to take the ball up in the air, and you're holding it between your legs. And then the arms come up, and they're going to take the ball. You'll close the legs, and then open the arms and legs away from each other. And it may be a little bit, or kind of a medium amount, or it could be a lot, but don't let your back lift. Then we'll bring it back together. Bring the ball in towards, or between the legs, that is. And we'll open and close again and switch. And I call this the switcheroo. Open, close, switching. And then open, close, switching. And let's try for about 6 more. 5. Stay with the breath. 4. Almost there. 3. Keep pressing your back flat to the floor. 2. The lovely sound of 1. And even more lovely. Done. The ball's back between your legs. And it's a big maybe. Put the ball on top of your feet and try to straighten your legs and squeeze those muscles. This requires a little bit more flexibility than some people will have. So you're like, that is so much harder than it looks. You're not alone in that feeling. Our abs are strong. Our back is being pushed nice and flat. We're stretching it and strengthening those thigh muscles. We're going to get ready to do a drop catch. Our hands are in the air. We can drop the ball and catch it. Awesome. All right. To the side. Balancing in as straight a line as you can get from your toes to the crown of your head. The hand or arm is supporting your head. And I should say hand and arm. And we're trying to lift the bottom of the side of our waist off of the floor. Then we're going to balance the legs, hovering there. Breathe in. Exhale, lift up. Inhale over 10. All right, try to keep your waist lifted. Your spine aligned. 2. Excellent. Did you keep your waist lifted? Let's try again on the other side. So with the help of our arms and hands, we are supporting our heads. We're lifting the waist, squeezing the ball, hovering those legs. Breathe in. Exhale up. 10. 7. Continue to think about popping that ball with your legs. Just 5, 4, 3. Your waist is still lifted. 2, 1. Outstanding. All right. Let's come up. And kneeling. Take a quick check. Make sure that your knees are comfortable. You might need to add more padding. Going to extend the leg out. Wrap the body over the ball. And then 3 choices. Hand on the ball, hip, or supermodel, hand behind the head. We'll hover this leg in the air, press it back into an imaginary visible wall, and come up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Aligning the spine, tailbone, sternum, nose, and leg lifts. Breathe in, breathe out. 10, One more at our best. So that concludes our strengthening exercises. Now we'll start to stretch. And to get going, try to not let the dog bother me. Step the right foot forward and lunge. Pull the ball into that left hip and just examine how you're feeling in that left leg. Sometimes it feels better to curl the toes under and lift the knee and kind of wiggle the toes farther back and then set the knee down. And maybe if it doesn't hurt, then point the toes. The right hand is going to keep the ball into your left hip, and you'll watch your left hand as it reaches up and over. Push down through your legs with almost enough energy to stand up. Reach, breathe. And then the hand will relax down to the ball. You may simply be in this lunge, or if accessible, left heel to glute. The hips are pressing into the ball. I feel the need to adjust. That's better. And then maybe if the ball is not feeling like it's going to roll away, you can be a kneeling dancer. And just extend that right arm and lift the heart. The left shoulder blade is moving down and towards your spine, down the back towards the spine. And as you're ready to release, please straighten your right leg, square up the hips, fold forward. Adjust ball of the foot on the ball, fold forward. And as you're ready, please start over. The ball will be under your right hand and the left foot steps forward. Check in with that right knee, maybe lifting it, wiggling the toes back, and setting the knee down, possibly pointing the toes. A little bit of stability is lost there, so be careful. It may feel good one day, but maybe not on another day. Left hand is keeping the ball in place. Right arm floats up and we're watching. Press down, reach up. Turning the gaze to look up also changes your center of gravity enough that you'll feel a little more stretch in the hips. And we'll float down. And you may stay here or heel to glute. And then the shoulder blade towards the spine, down the back. And if the ball is not going anywhere, we could reach the left arm. Nicely done. As you feel ready, go into the next stretch with the front leg straight, hips squaring, our heads moving down, maybe even resting on the ball. And then The ball of foot on the ball for an intense stretch in the backside of that leg. As you're ready, please disregard the dog. We're gonna go to kneeling and do some stretches with the side body relaxed over the ball. We'll let the head rest on our shoulders, like our shoulders are soft pillows. And the arm reaches overhead. Press down through the straight leg foot. And then hug the ball with that top arm, kind of threading through. Feeling the stretch between your shoulder blades. It's okay to switch back to yoga breathing if you like. Just please remember to exhale. That way we avoid holding the breath. That arm floats up next, and we're going to take the wrist and flex it while we bring the arm back. As easy as you can make this, switch to the other side. A little earlier, we did the ragdoll, and we let the body just kind of mold itself to the ball. Let's do that again. Ready, give that ball a hug. And then open up, flex the wrist, bring that arm down towards the floor behind your back. Check in. It's easy to accidentally start lifting your head. You want to keep the head relaxed and the neck relaxed. You're ready. Let's release. And we will sit on the ball, do 2 more stretches. And the movement to get there is similar to our rollout near the beginning of the class. So what I'm doing differently though is I don't have my arms switched across. They're holding, my hands are holding the ball, walking out. And then when the head is on the ball, we can stretch out the chest and shoulders. And then, so my knees are bent at this time. Extend out straighter and reach the arms overhead. So this now should stretch more in the stomach. It may feel better to have your ankles flexed. It may feel better to have your toes pointed. I'm noticing I need to adjust. I've re-bent my knees, and I'm going to straighten those legs again. Oh yes, that feels better. Now, you may find something that works better for you. I'm just rolling the bottom down so it's on the floor, chin to chest. And the goal is to get into windshield wipers. Your body will look similar to a chair that's on the floor, laying on its back. So breathe in. And then exhale, knees to your right, head to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch directions. And back in again. Let's do that 2 more times. One more time. Wonderful. So we're almost ready for Shavasana. Sometimes a nice strong contraction can really help. And I like a butterfly at the legs, squeezing the bottom and lifting the hips, arms by your sides. So stretch out the inner thighs, lengthen your back, scoop the abs. As you're ready. I don't feel quite ready. We're running out of time. We're gonna bring the spine down. I was really enjoying that. And the hips. Rest the legs. And softly close our eyes. Simply relax. One of my favorite ways to imagine and help my body relax. Let me just start all over. One of my favorite ways to relax my muscles is to imagine that I'm standing in a waterfall. In Hawaii, the water is the perfect temperature. All the sights and the sounds are absolutely gorgeous. Just feel that water pouring down over my head, softening my face, pouring down over the shoulders, the chest and the back, feeling all the tension wash out of my body, out of the hands and hips, thighs, feet. The entire body feels warm, relaxed, and heavy. Our minds are peaceful. We are resting. As you're ready, reach your arms overhead. Stretch. We'll kind of make ourselves into a ball. We can hug the knees to the chest. Rock a little bit and roll to one side. Cradle our heads. And press down and come up. As you set up, remember, all 10 toes point straight ahead, knees over ankles. We're aware of our sits bones as we hinge and then come up, level in the hips, shoulders, ears, and we'll bring our hands to our heart. Breathe in and out, knowing that we've taken good care of our bodies from the inside out. With an attitude of gratitude, please join me. Smile, we will smile. Reach your arms up, breathing in. Our hands to our hearts. Taking this opportunity to stop, think of someone or something in our lives that we're grateful for, and simply saying thank you. Thank you for being here today. Have a great rest of your day.